Hi there, it's Karen here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I've been wanting to do this video for quite a long while, ever since I saw Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah do it as part of her mass make when she did her first 100 mass makes, and now she's repeating them all, and she's done this one again, and I thought, right, this time I am going to do it, and that is to make some fabric journal toppers, because I have quite a lot of fabrics that I never get around to using. Just to give you a quick example, well, this is that's one box, and this is another box, and these are all sorted. I've got another box which are all sorted into journal sized pieces of fabric, so they're all big enough to make a journal cover. So journal cover size, should I say. These are all pieces that I would call a good size, but they're not big enough for journal covers, so any of these would be good for a fabric topper. So I might dip into either of these boxes as we go along. I just thought I'd show you those. This one's a bit hefty. Just fabrics I've collected along the way, little packs I've bought, with the fat quarters, sometimes things from charity shops. Some of them have been my own bits that I've torn up. So yeah, I've just collected some bits like that. And the other thing I have to use, we've been getting a lot of curtain samples lately. As you know, we're in our new house and we're trying to do up different rooms, so we keep ordering samples and then we never actually order the curtains. So I have a whole bunch of samples here. I mean, we have some of them have led to buying a pair, but some of them we haven't quite found what we want yet. So, but all of these I thought would be great size for doing a journal topper. They're not all the perfect patterns, some of them more suitable than others, but there's quite a lot there. I mean, certainly something like this I'm thinking, most of them I want to be fairly plain as the first layer. So this navy blue velvet is absolutely perfect and it's gorgeous. Trouble is with velvet, it does attract all the bits, so I'm going to put that aside. That's also a good candidate. It's a lovely colour. And this one as well, isn't this beautiful? This is another velvet, and I love this colour, and I'm thinking autumn journal. I'm kind of getting toward, I'm just planning ahead a little bit, thinking, well, if I'm going to do a spring journal, maybe I'd like to do an autumn journal too. So, and I think this would be a really good background as well. It's a nice neutral, and you could put any colour with it. And again, this isn't a velvet, but it's a similar colour. It's just slightly darker than the other one. And this is a slightly different type of fabric, but it's the perfect sort of thing to use for a journal topper. Well, if I were ever to do a bee journal, which I don't think I plan to do ever, but that would be good for that. This is rather nice as well. That would be another nice one for a spring journal, wouldn't it? And again, another nice neutral. So I've got quite a few here that would work really well as journal toppers or as the basis for the first layer. But the first one I want to do is a topper for my spring journal, because I have shown you the fabric I plan to use, which is gorgeous for the cover, and then this one for the inside. I think they are a perfect match. And I've got this piece of fabric, which I think is also a very good match for the colours. I've had this piece, one of the first things I ever bought, I think, when I started going around charity shops looking for things to start making journals. I think the first journal I ever made, this was the cover. That must be at least 3 years ago, probably 3 years ago. I made a journal for a friend of mine in Germany, and this was what I used for the cover. And I think it was a whole curtain originally. Excuse me. Still got the odd tickle, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. And I think this may be all I have left. It's not quite big enough for a cover anymore, but it's plenty big enough for a topper. So I think that's the first one I'm going to use, and then we'll see where we go after that, because I really want to get that started. Whether I'll do the same, in both of Tina's videos, she did it as a part 1, part 2, did the bases, and then came back and did the decorating. It's possible I'll end up doing the same, depending how carried away I get with making bases. Never done it before. I mean, obviously I've made them for individual journals. I made them specifically for the journal, so I have made them before. I just haven't sort of made them in this way in a sort of more a mass make style, but I thought it'd be lovely to have a few. And then, you know, if I kind of vaguely keep in mind the sort of journal I might make, then I've got the topper ready to go. That just speeds things along. Although, knowing me, I'll probably end up making another one. But this is a fun project, so I thought I'd do it. So I'm just going to cut this piece down. Oh, and I suppose I should show you as well. I have been doing a bit of shopping because I realised I don't have any nice big pieces of lace. I've got lots of strips of lace, but I haven't got any nice big pieces that would be quite nice to put on a topper. And I've got a bit mad because I ordered some from an Etsy shop, which has luckily arrived. And I didn't order a lot because it was quite expensive. Well, to me it was. And I couldn't find everything that I want, you know, exactly what I wanted. But I got these two. I wasn't sure how this colour would turn out. It's clearly not the right colour for the spring journal, but it would go quite well, possibly, on the autumn. I'm not sure. But it's lovely. It's a lovely colour, sort of like a coral. And then this one is a white. And I bought this as well, which is a beautiful sort of filigree type of lace, a bit wider than one I've got. I've got one similar, but this is wider. So I bought those. And I think I got some more on the way from another shop. But then I went this morning. I had a little trip on the bus into Hitchin, which is a local town, where they have a market on. And there was a haberdashery stall. And they had quite a lot. Where's it all gone? Yeah, they had quite a lot of lace. Well, they had these, what they call Indian trims. So aren't they beautiful? I've got this one. I mean, I was spoilt for choice. There were so many beautiful colours. And I just chose these to start with. I may get more next time I go. I only bought half a metre of these, but they are gorgeous. And then I've got this lace. And then this white one, which is really pretty as well. And then I've got this one, which is not quite as wide, but really pretty. I hope you can see these. And I've got this one, which is also just a really pretty scallopy lace. So some slightly wider ones than I had before. You know, I didn't have many wide ones. And then I've raided my box of laces as well, and I've pulled out a few more. So I've got this piece, which, hello, don't they go together well? So I might try and put a bit of this on the cover for the spring journal because that colour just is perfect. I think I've got some more of this somewhere, but I can't remember where I got it from. It was probably a charity shop purchase. Then I have this beautiful proper vintage lace. I bought this from a vintage shop. That's really lovely, and I've got quite a decent strip of that, so I can use some of that on one of them. I've got this odd piece, this piece that I pulled out. That probably would be a good size. This was a charity shop find. It was part of a skirt. It was a big circular skirt, and I've used it loads. I love this. And I also pulled this little piece out. I didn't know if I'll use that, but I thought it was really pretty. A little bit of broderie anglais there. So yeah, I've got loads of choices. Sometimes that's not easy, is it, when you've got too much choice? Right, so I'm going to cut a piece of this. So I quickly measured up. Well, I had to look at my music journal topper, and it's about 5 by 7. So I'm thinking I'll basically do them at about 5 by 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should be a good size to go on a 9 by 6 journal. This is like a damask fabric. Such a gorgeous colour. I don't know, for some reason it's just gone with so many things. I've used so much of it. I'm sure you've seen it before. I have used it a lot. It just seems to go with things for some reason, this colour. It's that warm pink. Again, I talked about that, didn't I? I said I love a warm pink, and this is it. I don't know how straight that is. I don't think it matters too much. Right, so how big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I want 7. So I'm going to cut it. It's not especially straight, but it doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to cut it across. Here. Cut it across here. trim this up a little bit. I'm just going to cut a few to size. I might just straighten this up a little, just a little bit, because it's not that I'm the best straight cutter in the world, but I'll try. Okay, so there's one. I'm definitely going to use, I think I want to use, do I want to use that? I'm not sure, I might want to use that as a second layer. I do want to use this. Let's take the label off the back. So this is already looks about the same height. Yeah, that's already, that might actually be the size I need. Is it a bit wide? I think I might just live with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/4. If it ends up being too big, I can probably trim a bit off, but I think that'll be fine. Not sure. It would take up an awful lot. No, I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I might just cut off the edge both sides so it looks the same. Okay, second one. Let's have another look at this little pile here. I quite like the idea of doing, I certainly want to do this blue one and the green one. I wonder about that one. Maybe I'll have a look in my basket and do, if I want to find any more. So I'm going to do the same with these two. Just cut them. Let's just check the size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, they're about the same. They're all about the same size. So I'm going to cut them down. Just cut the edge off. Okay. I want to have a quick look in this basket, see if I, well, not basket, in this box to see if I can find one more piece that would make a nice base for a topper. About this piece. It's quite bright. Or I go totally neutral. I've got some neutral ones here. Something like that might be good. I got a whole load of remnants a while ago, quite a while ago, probably 3 years ago, I think. I went to a shop and they had a remnants bin, so I managed to get a whole bunch of those. No, they weren't remnants, they were samples, I think. So you can use either side. I think I like this side. So there's that colour. That one's a bit lighter. Maybe I'll go with that one. So show me about these stickers that I can't seem to get off. Well, I think this might be wide enough anyway. Right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. That will be wide enough without... Okay, I think these will be enough to start with. They are a pretty array of fabrics, aren't they? I've got a couple of nice little scraps now. Okay, so now I need to find another layer to go on top. So I'm wondering, I could do a bit of this, because this is going to be on the inside, so it'd be quite nice to bring it into the front as well, wouldn't it? Just a little bit of it. I think this is more than I need for the inside of the journal. So I might just tear myself off a nice little inner piece. hold of it. Okay. Now, let's see how much I need. Let's go on here. Oh. All right. So these will need just a little bit of sewing around. And I wonder about that little bit of pink lace. Is it going to be a bit too much? I might come to that afterwards. I think that's just a starter that will need to be sewn around. I've got to decide which of these two I want to make into a topper. So I like both colours. Because I have got some fabric I might use for my journal. So I thought this might do quite nicely for an autumn journal, just because of the colours really. Look at that. I'm thinking that might make quite a nice autumn journal cover. So it's a case of which of these two go better. I may use the slightly lighter version. So there's that colour. Or that colour. I'm thinking this colour is the better colour in the end. I may end up using something totally different. Something else might speak to me about autumn in the meantime. But I can at least make a start, can't I? So, although I love the velvet, I might well go for this one. Right, and I'm thinking this might be rather a nice second layer. Or do we want some lace? That go? Might do. I don't know. That might be rather nice. It's actually a bit too big, I think. What else have I got? Oh, I have got this. I might take a piece of this. cut it down just a little bit more. Okay, so that one, and actually I think I might, yeah, I'm going to have to cut this one. I'm just wondering about this lace on this piece. That might be nice. I wasn't even planning to cut this one down, was I? Okay. Now I think I want to put this one on here. It's not the same green. I don't think I've got anything else that is a better colour match, really. And I haven't got a lot. Oh, I've got some greens in here. I've got this one. I don't know if this would go better. I've used this fabric quite a lot as well. It's another favourite. But I don't think that's what I want. I have this, which is rather lovely. I'll just level that up. Could that go on there? So I really would want this piece, wouldn't I? Nope. Finding it a bit of a struggle. That would be quite nice on there. Yes, it would. Right, so I'm back from sewing all of these. This is actually the next morning now because it got quite late by the time I'd finished. Because as you can probably tell, I made a few more, and I'll just show them all. So this one is the spring one, and that's one I want to try and finish today. So I'll put that aside. Now I did find sewing on these larger pieces of lace was quite challenging because they're a bit stretchy. So this one ended up a bit skewiff. And it got a bit puckered here, but I think by the time we've decorated over the top, it's not going to be an issue. This one turned out quite nicely, although I think I've got it upside down from what I originally intended. Anyway, yeah, I think it looks better that way. Yeah, I really like that one. And then the blue one, that's really pretty. I've got a bit of an idea for doing that, but again, this one got a bit caught and a bit puckered as I went around. I think the sewing machine kind of, I don't know, it just seemed to get caught a bit, but I don't think by the time, we'll put some lace down the side and it will look fine. I had to actually undo this one because it completely travelled over that way, so that one is all right now. I like that one a lot. And then I think this is possibly one you haven't seen. I wanted to use that new lace that I bought, so I've got a lot of this this fabric. This was it was like a long strip where you flip them up. It was like a waterfall of samples, and all of the same kind of fabric, just in lots of different colours. So this is there were various shades of brown and the lighter ivory colours as well. So I thought perhaps that would look okay on there. And again, it really puckered along here. I may have to trim it a little bit, but we'll get there. It'll be fine. And this was from the same sample set, so you could see a completely different colour. Couldn't get the label off there, but that's okay because all of them you could use either side. So I thought that was quite nice with the vintage lace on it. And then this one had the same problem. It's pulling up a bit here, but I think once it's glued onto a journal, it'll be fine. This is another piece of that fabric. This is more of a purpley colour. So yeah, there was loads of them. It was a whole strip of but they weren't very big, but they're ideal for this. And I can actually get 2 out of most of these. And then another piece of that fabric, but this time with some green little flowers, little piece of cotton with some flowers. So I did that one as well. So yes, I've got a whole selection now. So I hope to come back another time and do a few more of these, decorate a few more. But for today, I think we'll only have time to do this one. So I'll put these to one side for another day. So this is my spring one. I'm just going to trim off a couple of bits here. So you'll have seen the spring kits by now, so I'm not revealing anything new by pulling out. Now, where is it? I have my kit here, and I've got a couple of pieces that I thought might work on here. So I'll just take those out, and this piece was already cut out, and I thought I love that because it's actually the same as on this page, which was my favourite page. So that might go on the front because the colours work really well. Look at that. I would have, if I'd have hadn't already cut it out, I'd have probably torn it out because I like that look. But I think what I might do is just ruffle it up. I'm just wondering whether one of these pages would look good behind it, not page, like a journal card. I'm just wondering, with a bit of lace in between. I might cut that one out, or maybe I'll tear this one out. See how that goes. So we could try. It's a bit busy on that piece, isn't it? This is all getting a little bit too busy. We need some calming lace. What can we use? So I have got this, which I would actually like to put behind the image, maybe. Would that go? Maybe not the scallopy bit, although the scallopy bit could just possibly... Could that go there? Is that a bit too much of the same colour? That's the question. I don't want to cover up too much of this either. So maybe we'll go for something different. Maybe something like that. I might just cut that down. Just lay it on there for a moment. I don't know if that will work there with it being round. I can square it off, but it'd be nice to use it as it is. Or we could put a piece of this lace on here, maybe. something behind this, I think. Got this one, this bigger one. Would that work? I'd have to cut it down a bit along here, but you can still see the prettiness through. I'm not sure about this piece. I don't think it's working for me. I do have another piece of fabric which also has got the right colours in it, but is it too much? Or shall I just stick with lace? I'm layering and layering. I'm not sure I'm over layering. No, I don't think that works really. I quite like that on there. Right, I'm just going to ruffle up the edges. I've got a distresser somewhere in my drawer, so I might just pause a moment and go and find it. Right, so I thought I'd just use my Tim Holtz distresser to ruffle up these edges a bit. Right, so that's inked and just ruffled up a little bit, so it just gives it a little bit more texture, and I like that much better. I wonder whether it would look better slightly over to one side. I am still wondering about using a bit of this because I do love this and it is the perfect colour to go on here. Let me just, perhaps just try cutting a piece with the scallopage. And if I don't like it, I've got some of the other I can use. Oh, right, I better cut this off as well before it goes flying. Right, just pull that up a fraction. Cut that across the top here. I may have to sew this as well, mightn't I? I'll just try a bit of this. Is that a bit too much? Would it be better with just a straight edge? I think I prefer that, so I'm going to save that for something else. Just put a little piece, I think, if I can find a bit that I can straighten off. I've got this funny shape. I don't know how this has ended up this shape. It's probably the shape of whatever it was in the first place. But I just need a strip, really, don't I? I might just cut that straight up there. Then I've got a straight edge to work from. Let's see how that looks. I think I might just pop it over slightly off centre. Just put it over to there. There. Okay, it's coming together. It's very lacy. Now I have a whole bunch of quite big fat flowers. And once again, I seem to have rather like this colour, because I've got lots of things in this coral, which is quite a nice colour to match. But you can overdo the colour, can't you? I think I need a bit of green in there, so I have a few leaves that I might be able to pop in between. The fabric leaves. Because some of these flowers, they're so lovely, but they're just too fat to go in a journal. I probably even bought them when I was scrapbooking and just found them too much to go in a scrapbook page. But on the front cover of something, they would work quite well. Now, what about a leaf like that? Just got a few. I don't really want turquoise leaves, do I? Not for this one. Pretty though they are, they're not quite right for this. I do love this one as well. Maybe that's a better colour. It's not quite as... Oh, look at that with the lovely jewel in the side. That's really pretty. I think this is a bit big. Can I add any more to it? Actually, that might look quite nice too. Bit of turquoise. There's a little bit in this fabric. Maybe that would be an idea. See, I've got so many flowers that I really like to use. That would look quite sweet on there. Much as I would love to use these, I think there's just too much of this colour going on. Is that even possible? I don't know. I might just trim off this stem and see if that would snuggle in here. That work? I do like that. I think I do. I'd love to get even more of these on there, but I think that could be a bit much. How about that one? Just keep adding, Another little one. There. Now I'm not so sure about this one. Maybe it's got a little bit squashed. I think that's the trouble. Let's just see if we can flatten it out a bit, make it look a little bit better. Pop that there. That looks a little bit livelier, doesn't it? Are there any others that I can squeeze in? What have we got here? That may well be enough. Is there such a thing? I could do with... Maybe the leaf is in the wrong place because the other leaf is too big, I think. So maybe if I put the leaf here, so it's a bit more central, and then put that on there, and then just cluster my little flowers around. Got one of these. How would that look? Maybe taking away too much from this now. So let's pop that there. Just going to see if this would look better than this one. Stick that under there. I think that looks a bit better because then this one really stands out. I don't want anything too competing too much with it. I do love that. I think that's... Now I've got to go back and remember where all these things go. I've just been adding and adding and forgetting I haven't actually attached any of this. So I'm going to have to take these off. I think I'm going to arrange them to the side in the way that I've got them to remind myself. And then I think first I will attach, now I'm thinking I'm going to put a bit of glue here, but I think I'd like to sew around this. And much as I'm a little afraid to do it, I think I want to sew around this too. I'm going to try putting a bit of glue on here. Now, was I going to trim this? Does it need it? I'm not sure it does actually, because you can see through all of this. I think it looks really pretty just as it is. So I'm just going to put some of this on here. And then I might pop that back on. And hope it holds it. I shall probably put some pins in as well, because that's what I ended up doing before, is putting some pins to hold the lace, to stop it slipping too much. But I thought maybe the glue will help as well. And I think I'll do the same with this. I'm going to put some glue on here. In the middle. And then attach it to this. Right, I'm going to go and sew around these again, and then we'll come. Right, so these are both sewn around now. Went okay, didn't get too puckered, so I was quite pleased about that. For most of these I have used cream thread, so you can't really see it. You can see on the back. So I've got a zigzag around that piece, and then I did the other one. Some bits are zigzag, some bits are straight, but I don't even know if you can see it on there. But yeah, so they are sewn around. And then I changed my thread and used brown so that would be more visible on here. So I thought that would look better. So that can go slightly to the side there. And then, maybe I should just glue that on now. I think I will. See if my Fabri-Tac will play along today. I might just give it a little poke with a needle. Sometimes I think it gets like a little blockage. Right. Just going to glue inside the stitched line so that the lace is still a little bit soft around the edge. going to dry. Right, so the next thing is to put on my flowers. So this was going to go first, so stick with the Fabri-Tac, I think. There. Need to flatten them down just a little bit, otherwise they won't stick. Not quite sure what these are made of. They seem like fabric, but I think it's almost like a thick paper almost. Anyway, that goes there. And this one next. Love this one. We've wanted to use some of these. I've got a few of these. I haven't had much opportunity to use them. I think that colour is perfect on here. I think these are rather nice on here too, because they're not too turquoise, and they do bring in this colour from the background of this fabric. Let's just see. Do I want to put that one in there? I think that would look quite nice there. Okay, so I'll put this one in first. Tuck it right under. So it's just poking out. Yep. Oops. That one in there. And then the bigger one up here. Oops. Okay, liking that. Just wonder if it needs anything else. Anything else from the kit maybe? I wasn't sure if there was any labels or anything in here. Do have some tickets. I wonder if one of these would look quite nice on here. By this little bird. Let's just have a look. thought I'd cut 2 out and then we'll see which one looks best. This has got the blue one, the one with the bird has got a pinky tone, and then the other one has got a more neutral, slightly yellow tone, but it does have the flowers, which I like. I'm just going to... I won't do the corners until I've decided if I'm going to use one of these. So I did wonder about just tucking it in here, maybe. Oh, no, that's no good because the bird will disappear, won't it? Popping that up there, like that. How would that look? Don't think the bird is going to go at all, so take that out. Or do we put it on top? I think it may be just too, but less is more. Or, well, there's not really less, but I think maybe I'll leave it as it is. Don't want to distract too much from what's already on there by adding too many bits. I really love that. I really do. So that's it. I think this will look really nice. Let me just pull in that piece of fabric that I'm going to use. Just approximately. Obviously I've still got to make the cover. If you pop that on there, I think that will look lovely. I'm sorry about the false accent. Sorry about that. Don't know where that came from. Yeah, really pleased with that. So that's our topper for our spring journal that's coming soon. And I'll start putting that together next week. And I will try and find time to do another video where I do some more of these, decorate some more of the toppers. When that'll happen, I don't know. Sometimes it depends on the sort of week I have, whether I can fit in these extra videos, because I want to start working on the spring journal, and I've still got the music journal going on, still got Roxy's Weekly Challenge to keep on top of. So I've already filmed, you may have already seen, an extra video that I did making the cluster book, so it's a case of whether I have time to fit in these extras, but I do want to because I love doing them. But sometimes you just have only got so much time in the week, haven't we? So thank you for joining me for this, and I've really enjoyed myself making pretty things, and all my other, where are they? There we are. All my other little toppers. I've got plenty here to keep me busy, so I'll try and do some of these another day. Okay, bye for now.